Hey everyone, welcome to today's Explainer. So, you want to get into data analytics, right? Well, we've got something really special for you today. A highly structured, incredibly realistic 12-month journey that takes you from an absolute beginner to a certified expert. We are mapping out exactly what to study, when to study it, and exactly how long it's going to take. Now, I got to ask you something pretty empowering right out of the gate. Can you go from a complete beginner to actually getting hired in just 6 months? The answer is a massive, resounding yes. We're going to explore the exact blueprint to make that happen, so you definitely won't have to wait a whole year to see a return on your investment. Okay, let's dive in to this. We're going to follow a really clear blueprint, broken down into 5 phases. Phase 1 is the foundations. Phase 2 covers intermediate skills. Phase 3 is getting job ready. Phase 4 is advanced analytics. And finally, Phase 5 is becoming an expert.
So here's the chronological big picture for your next year. Basically, every couple of months, your focus is going to shift. Think of it like a marathon, sure, but we've chopped it up into these highly focused sprints to keep you perfectly on track.
All right, let's hit the starting line. Phase 1, the foundations. This covers months 1 and 2. Our absolute first goal is simply mastering core data manipulation and visualization tools. And hey, fun fact here, by skipping the really complex coding right off the bat, you literally eliminate about 90% of beginner burnout. So we're just completely removing that overwhelm right from the start. To break that down, your only mission for the first 8 weeks is mastering just 3 core topics. First, Excel, specifically things like pivot tables, VLOOKUP, and XLOOKUP. Next, basic SQL for pulling data. Think select, where, joins, and group by. And finally, some basic statistics. Mean, median, and standard deviation. Just keep it hyper-focused on those 3. And honestly, here is the best part. Hitting this phase 1 goal only requires a highly manageable weekly commitment of 10 to 12 hours. You can absolutely fit that into your evenings and weekends without burning yourself out. Moving right along to phase 2, intermediate skills. We're heading months 3 and 4 here. And this brilliantly illustrates how your goal shifts now. You're no longer just staring at static spreadsheets. You want to start building interactive dashboards and actively querying complex databases to really bring all that data to life. So to pull that off, your core topics step up a notch. You're going to tackle advanced SQL, diving into window functions, CTEs, and subqueries. You'll also pick up powerful business intelligence or BI tools like Tableau or Power BI. And crucially, you'll learn data modeling, which is basically figuring out how to connect those databases directly to your slick new dashboards. Now, with the difficulty leveling up a bit here, your required weekly commitment rises slightly to about 12 to 15 hours. It takes a little more focus for sure, but the skill payoff is absolutely massive. Okay, getting to the really exciting part. Phase 3, getting job ready. This is months 5 and 6. Now, what's really interesting about this phase is the shift in intention. Your goal here is to automate tasks, clean complex data, and actively launch your job search by finally bringing in real programming. Yep, this is where Python finally enters the chat. You're going to learn the basics, lists, dictionaries, loops, and then dive into heavy-hitting data libraries like pandas and NumPy. And no, sadly, there are no actual bears involved with pandas, just some serious number crunching. You'll also learn Git and GitHub for version control, which is literally an absolute must-have in the tech world. And right here is your absolute most important takeaway, your major milestone. You need to build a 3-project portfolio on GitHub and start applying for entry-level roles. Seriously, do not wait for month 12. By month 6, you are officially job ready. But I do want to ground you in reality for a second. This is the hardest phase. This crucial push to learn Python and build out that portfolio requires your highest effort yet, around 15 to 20 hours a week. It's going to take some serious grit, but this is the exact sprint that actually lands you the interview. All right, phase 4, advanced analytics, spanning months 7 through 9. So what happens after you start applying? Well, your goal elevates significantly. You're transitioning from just reporting on what happened to providing really deep business insights using statistical modeling. You are essentially becoming a strategic asset to any company. Your steady focus shifts over to advanced Python visualizations using Seaborn and Matplotlib. You'll master exploratory data analysis, or EDA, alongside regression and hypothesis testing, like A/B testing. And most importantly, you'll learn how to tie these statistical tests directly to actual business metrics, things like customer churn, lifetime value, and ROI. You're basically learning how to speak the exact language of business leadership.
And good news, because that super intense job hunt and portfolio building phase is behind you, your weekly study commitment dials back slightly here to a nice, steady 12 to 15 hours.
Which brings us to the final stage, Phase 5, becoming an expert, months 10 through 12.
Let's see how this all builds up to our ultimate year-end goal, handling massive data sets and deploying automated analytics pipelines. You are officially moving out of standard analyst territory and into the realm of big data.
These right here are your final boss-level skills. You're going to conquer cloud data warehouses, learning industry standards like Snowflake or Google BigQuery. You'll get hands-on with data pipeline tools like dbt, and you'll learn how to scale your Python scripts so they don't just completely break when you throw millions of rows of data at them. With a steady 10 to 12 hours a week in this final phase, you've completely conquered the roadmap. Think about it. You've gone from absolute basics to automated pipelines in just 1 year. So I want to leave you with this one thought. If you are really ready to begin, what's your first step going to be today? Seriously, don't wait. Open Excel, write your very first formula,